However, WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert didn't need a hot take to describe Caitlin Clark on the Bill Simmons podcast. Oh, I actually have to go back and watch that one. As the league star gets ready for her second season, Cathy Engelbert praised her by saying, quote, "She's the most popular athlete in the league. She sees the revenue, the ratings, the attendance, and she knows that if this league is going to succeed, they better put their arms around Caitlin Clark." The fact that mainstream sports fans need to embrace the league for financial viability, not women's basketball players, WNBA players, or NBA players, is the reason why profits remain elusive. Many have previously questioned her leadership style, and this update is likely to annoy some WNBA fans who act as though they're protecting something extraordinary by defending a competition that hasn't been financially successful. Clark, like any other athlete, has her detractors. Although many fans of Angel Reese and AJ Wilson will be particularly offended, Cathy goes further in a way that will annoy many followers. She sees the financial indicators, viewership statistics, and arena numbers, and she understands that the league's success depends on fully supporting Clark. May usually features bold sports opinions, but this time the WNBA chief is finally acknowledging reality, accepting the facts, and stating what's obvious to new Caitlin Clark. She is not just the top women's basketball talent globally. As Clark gets closer to her second professional season, Cathy Engelbert remarks about her on the Bill Simmons show weren't over the top. He said, "She's the most celebrated athlete in America, not just a women's basketball competitor, not simply a WNBA participant, not an NBA player, the most celebrated athlete nationwide. More fans are tuning in and attending games to see her in action. More fans are cheering her on, others hoping she'll fail, often leaving disappointed." He also mentioned that she has a game against Angel Reese tomorrow, quoting, "It is a balance, but she is gifted across generations. Though Clark faces criticism like stars in more established leagues, her influence on the WNBA is genuine. More viewers are watching and attending matches to see her perform, many cheering her success, others hoping for failure, but often leaving disappointed. Her upcoming match against Reese is highly anticipated. We need balance, but she's a once-in-a-generation talent," Engelbert explained. "No competition revolves around just one participant, but Clark brought countless new viewers to our league, and her impact is undeniable," Engelbert said. "No league is often about one player, but in this instance, Caitlin's influence was undeniable as she attracted tens of millions of new spectators to the W." Engelbert continued by saying that while the league does have other stars like Asia Wilson, Vanna Stewart, and others, the metrics for viewership and ticket sales don't lie, and they all point to the Iowa Hawkeyes. Oh my God, I hadn't even read that part yet. I like to go into these articles cold, so you get my natural, real reaction as we look at it. I didn't even see that part as we look at it. This declaration marks a significant shift from the league's initial hesitancy to fully embrace Clark Engelbert remarks, which suggest possible influence from NBA leadership like Adam Silver, WNBA owners, and other notable players like Wilson and Breanna Stewart. However, attendance and viewing statistics clearly point to the former Iowa standout, and longtime supporters will be furious about this perceived betrayal. Given her background, they will likely target Cathy Engelbert with serious accusations. Cathy Engelbert, you better get your hate task force ready, because they're going to be coming for you with their pitchforks. You're a white lady. Guess what you're about to get labeled as? The old fandom will be furious. How dare you betray them? Investors are tired of financial losses, and the recent media rights agreement was largely driven by Clark's presence. The Iowa Hawkeyes women's basketball team showed solidarity on league opening day as the 2025 WNBA season got underway, highlighting former players who are currently in the professional ranks, such as Clark Megan and Lucy Olson. The Iowa fan base exhibits incredible loyalty. If fans from UConn and South Carolina followed their stars into the professional league with the same fervor, many WNBA games could surpass NBA attendance, which already occurs when Clark plays. Wow, that's a huge revelation from the commissioner, and we know that the league was hesitant to fully embrace Clark's when she participates without her presence. The WNBA struggles with both excitement and attitude issues. Hey, you have NBA owners who own WNBA teams, and they are tired of losing money. Did you see that media rights deal? Why do you think they paid your league? It sounds like someone has been in her ear, AKA Adam Silver. The preseason exhibition featuring Clark created extraordinary excitement comparable to major football events, which is remarkable considering football's popularity. The Indiana Fever are currently experiencing unprecedented fan engagement, which represents a fundamental shift in WNBA attendance patterns and consumer behavior. This analysis looks at the extraordinary pre-game activity, compares it to historical WNBA standards, and assesses the wider implications for women's professional basketball. The 2025 WNBA season starts Friday evening, but before that, the Iowa Hawkeyes women's basketball team, their fans, I mean, that's one hell of a fan base, and I'll give you credit for that, shared a message about the highly anticipated launch of the Pro League's new campaign. Initial crowd estimates show 67 people waiting outside the team store an hour before it opens, and projections indicate that number will grow to hundreds or even thousands as game time draws near. This level of sustained pre-game retail engagement represents behavior that may have happened occasionally in the history of professional sports, but it is definitely not typical for WNBA operations. Like, can we be honest, like, this is not normal, that is not normal? Is this something that has happened before? Probably. Is it normal? Hell no. And if you're out here saying that it's normal, that this is a common thing, what other, I'm not joking when I say this, what other teams could have this? The Valkyries. The Valkyries, and that's just because they're a new team. Examining similar situations in recent WNBA history is crucial to understanding the significance of this phenomenon. The Golden State Valkyries represent another significant development in WNBA expansion and market appeal as a newly promoted team. The finals were held in Minnesota, but despite complete sellout conditions, the retail environment presented a stark contrast to current Indiana Fever observations. The team store serving the Minnesota Timberwolves and Minnesota Lynx was virtually empty until about an hour before tip-off, despite the possibility of multiple retail locations. The established franchise in Silicon Valley, the Valkyries are poised to generate significant interest, but their appeal is primarily derived from their recent market entry and stylish branding rather than established performance credentials. The hype surrounding the Valkyries is due to the fact that they are a new team based in Silicon Valley, a trendy team, and they are likely to be huge. They won't be great this year, but they will be entertaining to watch. For example, Carla struggled in her debut, but she is an extremely entertaining player to watch. The WNBA has experienced impressive international growth, especially in European markets. According to current data, the league has surpassed Major League Baseball in popularity in Europe and surpasses the National Hockey League in reach in many European countries. This international expansion varies by region, with some European countries displaying strong ice hockey traditions while others show minimal engagement with the sport. I am one of the most entertaining players in the WNBA to watch. Represents a dramatic acceleration from the league's previous trajectory, whereas the WNBA was making steady, gradual progress. The recent transformation to major sports league status happened far ahead of industry predictions, with many analysts predicting that such growth might occur over a 20-year timeline. This makes the current rapid expansion especially noteworthy. I'm not sure if the Valkyries will be good, but I am confident that they will be a lot of fun, and we have hundreds of people waiting, well, not hundreds, for 2 hours There are at least 60, 70 people there an hour before a team store opens. I could be mistaken, and you would think that in the hour that follows, there will be hundreds, thousands, or even thousands of people. Therefore, I will undoubtedly make a big assumption. There will be a big assumption made in the LM. Caitlin Clark has become the most important figure in women's sports with international recognition that far surpasses that of other American female athletes. Her influence goes beyond individual performance. Within a year or so, Clark has helped to transform the WNBA into a globally renowned league, while also acknowledging that other factors were already contributing to the league's growth. The WNBA's rapid rise to major league status represents an unexpected shift in the market, largely due to Clark's presence and performance. Clark's influence has drawn casual viewers in ways that other professional sports, like the NBA, have found difficult to do in recent years. This crossover appeal represents the video's title refers to a significant market development for women's professional sports, but it's something we've never seen before, and I'm not sure if we'll see it again. This kind of reminds me of the WNBA finals in Minnesota last year, where I attended a sold-out game and received a Minnesota Lynx jersey. Again, they were sold out of jerseys, but the team store was almost completely empty an hour before tip-off, so in fairness, it wasn't possible that there were several team stores. But recent Olympic roster decisions have sparked a lot of debate in basketball circles. According to internal sources, the WNBA's best point guard was left off the Olympic team, and the leaked information suggests that team management wanted to avoid the circus atmosphere surrounding certain players and their fan bases. This decision becomes more complicated when taking performance timelines into account, as Chelsea Gray achieved exceptional point guard performance levels about 3 years ago in 2022. The current evaluation must explain the competitive landscape of 2025. In 2022, the Golden State Warriors won an NBA championship, while the Milwaukee Bucks were regarded as the league's most promising team. This shows how competitive dynamics change over time. It was a small team store for the Lynx and Timberwolves, and it was empty. But it's a crazy one, a really crazy one, and I don't think we've seen it before. I have a secret for them, and they can buy your jersey online. Congratulations to the person who sent me this jersey. In addition, the current WNBA competitive environment shows that players need a wide range of skills to maintain roster positions. Traditional advantages like height alone no longer guarantee success. Brittany Gurr is one notable exception, as her exceptional skill and shooting touch complement her physical advantages. European player integration has also improved league quality and entertainment value. Maureen Johannes' return to WNBA competition represents as part of a larger trend of elite international players opting to play in the league. This influx of talent raises the bar for competition and offers a variety of playing styles that improve overall product quality. You can see that every game is a home game t-shirt, but unfortunately, I won't wear it for the home games because it's so hot here. Well, yes, the t-shirt I'm wearing now will be taken off for the game, but it's all just a crazy situation. The emergence of competitive rivalries within the WNBA provides significant benefits for basketball as a sport. These rivalries create sustained fan interest beyond individual game outcomes and contribute to narrative development that maintains viewer engagement throughout the season. Caitlin Clark's emergence as women's basketball's biggest star extends beyond sports-specific recognition to broader audiences. Their Michael Jordan moment, when the entire league was taken off and they decided to go off to the Olympics, just kind of worked out well for MJ. When it comes to women's sports leadership, her international profile is far greater than that of other American sports figures, especially in European markets where American athletes have historically struggled for recognition. I love how someone in the camp came out and said that they weren't bringing the best point guard in the WNBA to the Olympics because they didn't want her fans around the team. Whatever you want to say about Chelsea Gray, I think there's a point to be made. The Indiana Fever, who were led by Clark 3 years ago, are no longer just a group of people with potential. Under Clark's leadership, they are becoming something much stronger as her second season begins. This growth will be put to the test on Saturday when the Indiana Fever hosts the Chicago Sky and Angel Ree in the first of 5 games between these teams this season. Like Clark, Ree had a stellar rookie season that helped the WNBA reach new heights in terms of attendance and viewership. Certain teams make those games matter more. We handle every game the same way, but rivalries keep fans engaged, and they really enjoy that. Clark's quick progress has impressed head coach Stephanie White, who returned to Indiana this offseason after productive years with Connecticut. Caitlin faced many challenges from day one. New league, new teammates, everyone's bigger, faster, stronger. White remarked, but she's very hardworking with great, since she wants to get better at the game. Betting experts seem to agree that her offseason work is crucial. Clark acknowledged that her biggest challenge in her rookie season was adjusting to the WNBA's physicality, which opponents used against her this season. She set out to change that narrative going into year 2. I know this league, I know what to expect. I understand how training camp works. Just having that knowledge of how things operate has given me lots of confidence, she explained. Clark's new strength was evident during the Fever's 81-76 preseason victory over the Atlanta Dream. She moved fluidly. Her signature long shots appeared even more natural. Her drives to the hoop demonstrated powers she didn't have previously, and her passes demonstrated the advantages of her winter training. One spectator said that she may have even extended her three-point range. The Fever made significant roster changes during the break, with head coach Amber Starks and general manager Kelly Krakoff concentrating on veteran players. Clark, who joined after a successful stint with Connecticut, praised Clark's leadership and playmaking ability, saying, "She's a dynamic performer. She simply lifts everyone around her. Being on this side with her is much more fun than guarding against her, that's for sure," said Bonner Howard, who joined the team, and Sydney Coulson, who was brought in to add expertise and championship knowledge to the team. I believe that what we lacked most last year was experience. Her return to the Fever after leading Indiana to the WNBA Finals in 2015 signals a significant change in the team's environment and goals, according to Bonner, who also noted that her addition, along with Howard, brings a sense of urgency and insight that the Fever greatly need. White stated that the most important thing for me and the team is communication, as we all share the same goals here, which is to position ourselves to compete for a championship. Her approach is centered on clarity and direct communication, a method that is already connected to her player and is still evolving. With Clark's developing leadership, Bonner and Howard's championship mindset, and White's structured philosophy, the Fever find themselves approaching the WNBA's top level. We're establishing our character. And the common element in our team is that everyone is unselfish. Everyone wants to succeed. Clark echoed that feeling, describing the team atmosphere as generous and focused. Everyone is happy to be here. We all share the same aim, and building those connections with teammates and being intentional about it is very important, she explained. With Clark's physical growth, the Fever's summer makeover, and veteran signings bolstering their lineup, that perspective may be precisely what transforms potential into outcome. And Indiana's journey to being a contender no longer seems far away, yet it feels assured.